18th, 2026 at 6:03 PM. If everyone could please stand, face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Susan, could you please do roll call?
Sure. LaRose, present. Hepmer,
Present.
Layton,
Present.
Stuzinski, Reardon,
Here.
Walsh,
Here.
Andres.
Present. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, moving on to the agenda. Could we please review it for any conflict of interest? And if there is none, move to approve the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda for May 18th, 2026 as is.
Second.
All right. Motion made by Reardon, supported by Layton to move forward with the approval of the agenda for Monday, May 18th, 2026. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to public comment. Doesn't seem to be any public at this time. I'll move on to correspondences. It looks like Kevin reached out about a little library volunteer.
We got him all onboarded. So
Okay.
we lost one volunteer, so he came along just in time.
Yeah, will be nice.
I've got some books at the school to put in the shed.
At Grace.
How do you do that?
What do you mean?
How do you have the key?
Yeah.
I should ask Cortade too.
Yeah. And then, looks like there's a geocaching log that Beth shared on May 2nd. Just sharing an update when people find our caches in our parks, so. I don't think there was anything else,
I think
so,
Claire shared that community
Oh,
development survey,
yeah.
which is
yeah. Okay. Yeah, so there was that too from Claire. So, if no one has anything else, move on to reports. Garrison, mind giving us a treasurer's report?
Yeah, we talked about it last month, that attorney engineer grant fees is over the budget. Nathan just talked to Beth, and we will look to put that on the June agenda because the actual township will do a July adjustment, so hopefully we can get that taken care of. And then on tonight's agenda, you'll see the capital outlay line with 25,000. We will increase that tonight for the pickleball stuff at Pine Grove. Other than that, there's also been a nice increase to the Grace McDonald capital outlay line by 82.5. So a lot of work going there, but we've got a good budget for it, and that's all I got for you.
Sweet, thank you. All right, there's no questions on the treasurer's report. We can move on to the staff report. Nathan?
So I think at the last meeting, we had talked about a citizen comment about adding fences to the pickleball courts. I did speak with that person, connected them with Sue from our Pickleball Association. He just noted courts that he had played on in Wisconsin had fences and they were nice. I did follow up with Sue about that. And she kind of brought up this, greater idea of visioning for the pickleball courts, noting that the tennis isn't really used, and in the future, we could consider putting the pickleball courts where the tennis courts are. She didn't see any need to put up the barriers at this time. She did say, yes, they're nice, but there really wasn't enough space between our courts, and they kind of become an obstacle. And then we had talked about the temporary ones, but she said that those can be a tripping hazard, because they're only so high, and if folks run into them. So it sounded like really just kind of visioning for the future, if if and when we want to look at making updates to those courts. Is there any feedback on any of that, from you guys?
I mean,
I'd hate to get rid of all the tennis courts in case pickleball.
Is it kind of like, the situation that we're looking at for the pickleball, basketball court combo, like the bids we got where we can paint for both sports?
And they have that now, so they have, the 2 tennis courts each have 2 pickleball courts in it, so there is the temporary striping, and they do have 4 pickleball nets over there.
So they just essentially want to get rid of the tennis lines to make it look cleaner?
She didn't say that, but that's kind of what I thought. And then I know one of those court surfaces underneath the underlayment isn't great. So really, both of these discussions kind of, in my mind, led towards, in the future, if we're wanting to redo all of the courts. But right now, they're in pretty good condition. There is the striping on the tennis courts for pickleball. There are 4 additional nets over there that people can use. So I don't think there were any big concerns, just ideas for the future.
yeah, right now I think pickleball is definitely the hotter of the
And I
two
think
racket
it's going to
sports.
even remain that more and more younger kids are playing it now.
Yeah.
So,
But
I mean,
I'd
compared to
hate
tennis.
I'd hate to remove tennis from an option. But,
Yeah.
and then I don't think our courts were designed big enough to have like the separation fences, so something temporary or permanent probably would lead into a tripping hazard or collision.
Yeah, I see that, like.
And actually,
Yeah.
we should just keep an eye on that, and I don't know how. How often those tennis courts are used for tennis in the future, in the next year or two. I don't know how we could do it, but, I mean, we always say this every year, well, we hate to do that, but in the meantime,
They made some comments about that they're very rarely used, but that they have seen users over there.
so what makes the change? I don't know, but it's something
And
maybe up the road.
There are 4 pickleball nets over there, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like we're checking all the boxes now until we want to just redo all of the sports courts.
yeah.
Had an email from the U.S. Forest Service out of the Cadillac office. Apparently, there's a research site near the entrance of Grace McDonald Park. They were just asking for permission to continue surveying, so I gave that to them. I asked for information about the work that they're doing. I guess they go there about every 7 years and survey the tree height, diameter, any damage to the trees and/or pests.
Great.
So the door locks at Grace McDonald, I think those have been an ongoing issue for the township. I know for the past 3 weeks, I've been over there. I make adjustments, I get them functioning, I leave. Within a day or two, they seem to be not functioning again. I think it was last Wednesday or Thursday. I spent about half the day going through the electrical system, troubleshooting it with 2 out-of-state vendors, the control panel and the striker pad, 2 different companies. They're still working, so fingers crossed they will continue to work, but that's something I'm closely monitoring. The pavilion, sorry, go ahead.
Doorknobs?
No, door locks.
Oh,
Door
door
locks.
door
When you
locks.
say malfunction, you mean they're supposed to be locking at a certain time, they're just remaining open?
Yeah, so they're electronic door locks, so there's a control panel that's connected to our electric panel, which takes the electricity down to 12 or 24 volts, and then that goes up to a timer box. So those doors, theoretically, you can set them to lock at a certain time of night. I think in the past, there were maybe problems with people sleeping in the bathrooms. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, and I think just general anti-vandalism tactic, like keep them locked in the middle of
Vandalism.
the night makes sense to me.
So how does that system compare to what's over at Arbutus?
I haven't had a chance to look at our Arbutus yet. I do not believe Jens Park has any auto locks. I haven't been able to evaluate our Arbutus.
It's the same concept, but I don't know if it's the same product vendor,
So is
but.
it like a magnetic lock that?
It's so essentially the striker plate, which is in the door jamb, that will lock, and then that'll prevent you from opening the door. So
What
basically,
happens if somebody's in there?
Well, you
Can they get out?
You can exit,
Well, you can.
I thought, no?
I mean, it's the same as,
Now that you're saying.
Don't know, huh?
still,
You better be checking that daily. You might have a few bodies in there.
yeah, the system's new to me. I'm not familiar with auto door lockings. I know, so the first thing I did to troubleshoot the system was I turned it auto on all the time, which keeps the door unlocked. That worked for a while, didn't work. So right now, currently, the timer is always on, so they're not locking at a certain time of night, because we were finding that they were becoming locked and people couldn't use them, so we wanted to prioritize people having access to them.
For sure.
And I think the concerns of having them locked at night are probably there, in the past are minimal, so we'll kind of,
I think
See-
I'd be more concerned about somebody getting locked in.
right, or not being able to get in.
They must have, that seems like a standard thing that they would have built into it, you know, like,
It's got, you'd think
it's-
a
yeah.
system we can at least.
And do we have a notice or a little sign that says these doors automatically lock at such and such time on the doors?
There was not, there was an old sign that said the doors are malfunctioning.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep,
I was just gonna say, like, if we knew if they were the magnetic locks where it goes at the first knob and then also at the top, there's like a little metal plate. I think the county guys know how to diagnose that stuff and get through to it, but then there's also that, place on Cass, I can't remember what it's called.
Northwest.
Northern Lock?
They couldn't help.
Really?
Like they go to there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're swamped with work and really didn't want anything to do with it. There is a vendor in Grand Rapids that's real familiar with these systems. So them and our electrician, I think, are the next.
Amples, maybe?
No, I got their contact info down. So I went through and redid some of the electrical connections. I know one of the settings was wrong. They've been functioning for the last 4 or 5 days, so we might be out of the water.
That's something to keep an eye on for upgrading. Also, I would think we would put them on gens as well, like, if we're gonna, especially maybe if we have a good system at Arvidas, just adopt that vendor for all the parks and do them all.
If you want to go that route, sometimes simpler is better.
Sure.
You know, because these systems do malfunction, they do require maintenance. It can be really difficult to get people to work on them. So, you know, if we're really wanting our bathrooms to be locked at a certain time, then I think it's the only option to do that unless we have someone physically lock them.
And a little vinyl sign that lets everyone know these doors lock, automatically lock at a certain time.
So they're functioning, still more to learn on it. So I just want to let you guys know in case you had any complaints.
They're all in the bathroom, locked in there.
It shouldn't lock them in there because of the handle. If the handle's functioning correctly, then they will be able to get out. The pavilion's getting busy. We've got an interview tomorrow for a potential part-time employee. The water at Jen's has been on for a couple weeks now. I've been doing some plumbing repairs. Just this morning, I left the bathrooms unlocked.
Does the foot wash work?
Yep, so I replaced that.
It was out of commission, I think, last year.
Yep, I put that on, immediately started leaking. Sharon was out to evaluate the work they're doing on the toilets. They put a pressure meter on there. It was at 80, so that's why it was leaking. So we got a hold of the DPW. This morning when I turned it back on, it was not leaking. So So I think I'm gonna order one of these little pressure meters. I can leave that on and it'll show you as the water fluctuates, it'll show you what it maxes out at. So if there is still a problem, then we'll put a pressure reducing valve on that bathroom. But they were out, they've got the toilets ordered, they're about 2 weeks out, and then we can schedule, so.
Nice. How long will the bathrooms be out of commission when they install, do you know?
I wouldn't think it would be that long. I think we'll see, but I would assume maybe we'll do one at a time. I would think within a day.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then I'm also talking with them. I don't know if you guys know the history of those toilets. I know the flush right now is really underwhelming. And so I was kind of trying to talk with the plumber on determining why that was. If we have 80 pounds of pressure.
Yeah, that's funny, we have too much pressure at the foot wash, but not enough at the toilet.
Right. So we've been kind of talking through that, because I'd hate to put these new toilets on and continue to have the same problem. I know they scoped the drain line, and that was good. So we were talking about the service line that's in the concrete wall. There's a very slim chance that that's a half-inch supply line. So when that toilet comes off, we can determine that. It sounds like it could be the toilet itself where the water comes down. There could be like calcium buildup in there. So we're working through it. The plumber was kind of at a loss at what could be causing it.
But either way, the new toilets are like jet-powered ones, aren't they?
So there's no, yes, I've been asking about this, like, you know, what is it that could be causing it this? Is it because it's a wall-mounted toilet and the, you know,
Going uphill or something?
the P-trap maybe isn't flowing the same? You know, I said, do we have buildup in the supply line? So I'm just trying to stay on top of it so that, you know, when these toilets come off, we can do everything we can to make sure everything's functioning. Because unfortunately, all of the supply lines are behind a concrete wall.
And if we discover it's a half-inch, we will have to upgrade that?
We're gonna have to consider that maybe as the cause of the problem, but we'll see. I'm thinking we're gonna start with one bathroom, we'll take the toilet off.
It seems like we have always problems with toilets, so what's the best operating toilet of our parks?
Good question.
Anybody familiar with, I mean, have we had problems over at Arbutus Shot with toilets?
I think those are pretty.
I
good.
think, and we've had them at Grace, problems with the toilet.
I think those
Could
problems
be
are,
because there's stuffing stuff in there.
yeah.
I think that was Roots though, and I think it got.
Well, Grace, I think people are putting foreign objects. John's is there something with the drain and tree roots and, sounds like there may be some other.
And one simple thing I noticed is there weren't trash cans in those bathrooms, and I know we'd been having a problem with the ladies' bathroom, so I bought trash cans, there's trash cans in there now, hopefully to discourage people from maybe flushing stuff down the toilet.
For sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
toilets.
yeah.
So,
Well, sounds like you got a good
Anything
plan.
else?
a couple other things, the docks installed at Arbutus,
I almost went on Saturday. I asked my kids, I was like, should we go jump in? No.
Oh, it's such good weather, though.
it's getting warm out there.
There's tubers on the Muskegon.
Brad has been flagging the proposed trail route at Holly Woodlands Natural Area. I still haven't set foot out
You
there.
realized you came to the wrong meeting, I think.
Planning to tomorrow. I'm going to meet with Brad because we're going to start working out easements
Yeah.
for the parking area. We got a power plant grant to put cameras at the maintenance barn. Maybe you've been seeing all the farmers market programming, Power Produce, and at the market. I did pull out the old library at Jen's the other day when I was there, but we still have those 3 that need to go in, some of our other parks. I got janitorial supplies ordered. Slowly delivering and restocking those. Susan's working on flower beds. I did not turn your timesheet in on time today, so I don't, saw that.
Nice.
Doing it pro bono?
Have to wait for 2 weeks.
Well,
For some reason, I thought it
welcome.
was I saw your email and I thought it was a receipt. The timesheet thing escaped me, so I opened it, but they have to be in by noon, and I think I got to it about 1 o'clock. So apologies there. The irrigation is on at Grace. I believe they're still pending at the other locations, and then I can test backflows. Staff report.
Thank you, Nathan.
We should check that irrigation too at Grace. They say it's working, but it doesn't, I don't know. It just needs to probably, when,
Which section are you concerned about?
by the entrance where the sign is at.
I saw that there is irrigation way up there.
There's irrigation, but I don't think it really works. So I don't know, it must be set on a timer. If next time you're over there, if you can look and see what time it's set for.
What
To
needs
see? There is beds there, and I planted some perennials right underneath the sign. It's probably an 8-foot section.
Okay.
But the deer seem to still like everything, but Natalie suggested to do zinnias, and last year it was too late to put those in, so I'll just do some zinnias over there. The deer doesn't seem to bother those. And that sign probably needs to get cleaned up, the white, it's kind of rusty there.
I feel like, yeah, we've probably got a lot of signs when we get our part-time, they could go around cleaning, like the one down at Jen's, the little wayside.
Mm.
Use a iron off spray, finish right off.
Iron off.
All right. Thank you, Nathan, for the staff report. Moving on to the approvals of the minutes from Monday, April 20th, 2026. And if everyone could just please look those over and look good, move to approve them.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting on April 20th. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
April
that's right,
20th.
April 20th, 2026, as
Yeah.
presented.
Second.
All right. Motion made by LaRose, supported by Walsh to approve the minutes from Monday, April 20th, 2026. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to business before the Parks Commission, 9A, the Pine Grove Park Sports Court bids. Looks like in the packet here, there is the Schwaneke Sports Courts estimate, and then an email from Nathan was the other. Was the other pro track and tennis project proposal there, so, yeah.
Yeah, there was a significant price difference. I believe the other vendor was from out of state. which I think-
Yeah, the only thing I think they were cheaper on was the removal of the basketball hoop. Other than that, they were higher than, and also this one had a lot more detail on like what exactly the work scope was. The other one was like literally just one line and a checkbox.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would definitely think it makes more sense. I'm seeing the hoops are 6 foot to 10 foot. When we talked about that, did we say 6 foot is what the little kids play on?
Yep, so that was one thing we changed from the, originally, I think we were looking at 7 to 10, but based on the community survey, and I know Beth was interested in getting those 6-foot ones
Me
too.
I just want to make sure it wasn't like 5 foot and 6 foot was what I was thinking. So-
Yeah, it should still go to 10, and so Schwampke was the folks that I met with on site, and so I did follow up with them just to verify, and they said actually their preferred vendor that they use, the Dominator basketball court, basketball hoop, they do have a 6 to 10 foot.
Nice.
So for the in-ground pickleball net system, is that going to be something that we, like, is that something that park users can bring up at their leisure? Or like, how is that going to work?
It'll be like the ones at Grace.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have the steel post in the ground,
Mm.
the net will be removable.
Okay, okay, so it'll just be like on like the sides of the court, so when folks are playing basketball, it'll still be like out of the way? Like the posts will be?
They'll be permanent.
But yeah, but they'll be like on the edges of the court, basically?
Pickleball, I think, is one to be on one hand.
Mm-hmm.
So they should, I mean, one of them might be kind of close to interfering with basketball, it's a good point.
Yeah,
I think we had the sketch maybe last time when you weren't here, so like if this is the court,
uh-huh,
this is the play area, this is the house in the back.
uh-huh,
The pickleball will be on this section,
uh-huh.
and the basketball will be over here. So the way the court's laid out is it actually is longer on this dimension. I think it's 75 feet or something, and this is like 45.
Uh-huh.
So the pickleball will be over here, which is 20 by 44, I want to say. And then the basketball will be on this side.
So it'll be like a
Top
permanent,
and bottom.
Yep, with the hoop on the top and the bottom.
oh, okay, so it'll be like perma pickleball on one side and perma basketball on the other.
Yep. and
Gotcha.
We'll have to think through if we want to do the striping, so I kind of want to talk with the vendor to see what they think about putting the pickleball striping over here, because it might be kind of busy.
Right. I like that idea,
I'd be curious.
having it
How much
put,
would it be to add it on? I mean, if it's not much, it makes sense, just for more versatility.
right.
How would they have, like, for the net, though, what would they do?
That, well, you just have to have like a temporary one, like we have at Grace, we have 4 extra
Yeah.
temporary ones you can just set up, so it's not dedicated pickleball, but
Right.
if you want to
But
play
you
two
could.
games, you could.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
It would be just like Grace. Yeah, that's what I was thinking is we would do it. And then it does look like we can fit the 3-point line and the free throw all standard, but it's gonna be shortened in this dimension. So your 3-point line is gonna be fairly close to the center court line.
it's gonna be kids and families.
Right, and
No one
I'm
likes
not
playing
gonna.
full court anyways.
Huh?
No one likes playing actual full court anyways.
Right. And so we'll be working with the vendor to determine, in the safety spacing from the edge of court, you want at least like 3 to 4 foot. So there'll be some, final layout design work.
Will we need like a little shed or something to put some of those parts for the pickleball in, or storage, or if somebody decides, oh, well, here, no one's using the basketball court, let's use the pickleball court, or,
I mean, theoretically, we're just gonna have a net, which I would remove for the winter season.
yeah.
Put it in our barn. That's what I did with the tennis nets at Grace this year.
But we were talking about taking the basketball court to make it a alternative second.
Oh, if we were to purchase.
Would the expectation be they bring their own little temporary net?
So I've heard there's somebody in the neighborhood with a temporary net. If we looked at purchasing one, we would essentially leave it out there, hoping that it doesn't disappear.
Really?
Well, a whole shed for a net also seems not
Yeah.
super cost.
Well, I wouldn't be able to, if
I
someone
don't
wanted
know.
it, how
Well,
would
yeah,
they access?
right, it's gotta be available if they want to use it. It's gotta be unlocked anyway.
I mean, at the moment, we're providing more usable court, basketball and pickleball. In the future, if there's the need,
I think if they request us to buy them one,
Yeah, I guess see if they bring their own net.
yeah, but I think if
Well,
the neighborhood's got
I
one,
mean, firstly, what are you guys' thoughts on the additional striping on the basketball?
I think it's good.
We
it
do.
probably wouldn't hurt if it's feasible
They're
and
already
not too
there.
confusing.
I would imagine it wouldn't cost that much more.
That was my, because I was leaning towards it at first too, and then when talking to people, were like, well, is it gonna be confusing? I mean, if you go out to Grace and look, you'll see it. They have the tennis lines and the pickleball lines.
They're different colors though, right?
They're different colors, different sizes.
Yeah, different width. I think it makes a lot of sense, unless it like adds, $10 grand, I'd say no.
I don't, probably not, when they do their striping, it would be a.
I know, I think the striping is,
We'll have a 5% contingency,
Sure, yeah.
but we're in favor of the
Yeah, might as well make it flexible.
pickleball's
While we're-
popular.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going away.
We decide in the future if we want to have a net out there, or if we see that the neighbors are using theirs for tournaments, just gives us more flexibility.
Just on the note of pickleball, when we were doing our road cleanup yesterday, I noticed that the new development at 4 Mile and Hammond is putting a pickleball court in the community, which is also in our area, so that's, yeah, some more people that are providing a place. That's all.
I don't have it up. For the make a motion. I will move to approve the estimate from Schwanek.
Schwaneke.
Schwank, sorry. Schwank Sports Court. Suppose we adjust the capital outlay from 25,000 to 29, or 25 needed, I think. Increased by $4,925.
I'll support that.
With the 5%.
With the
Yeah.
5% contingency.
Yeah, all right.
But that includes the 5%, that number.
I thought it was separate.
Yes, I believe, no, I believe that does.
Do we need to add some more for the paint?
That
Or do you
should
think the
come
5% will cover it? Okay.
All right. Motion made by Reardon, supported by Endress, to approve the $28,500 Schwaneke Sports Court bid for upgrades to the Pine Grove Park Sports Court, and to authorize a budget amendment of $4,925 Parks Commission capital outlay to cover the cost of the bid and a 5% contingency, and to authorize the township supervisor to sign the related contract. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed.
Do we need to do a vote? Do we need to do a roll call vote because of the amount? Do we need to do a roll call vote because of the amount?
We can do a roll call vote.
It wouldn't,
It wouldn't hurt.
it's not going to hurt us, right? Alrighty. Kepner?
Aye. Where are you running? Do you have it ready
Yes.
to go?
We don't have a formal sheet for a roll call vote, but we can.
I bet if we needed one, it would be in our packet, because we've had it before when we needed
Okay,
it,
so you
right?
don't think we do?
I don't.
I don't think so.
I don't think we have to do roll call.
Just trying to think of other times that we have done it.
I was thinking anything over 5,000.
Maybe like in the trustees board bylaws or.
I'll look into it for next time. If Sam was here, I'm sure he could give us guidance. But this will go to the Board of Trustees in June before we
Yeah.
sign the contract.
Yeah, and it's like here, we did one for our meeting dates and times. So it's not always just like a dollar amount.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess we'll move on. If there's no more on that, we can move to the upcoming meeting dates. The 10A, the Parks Commission's tour of the parks, June 10th, 2026 at 5 PM, goes till 7 PM.
Are we starting at Pine
And
Grove?
then,
What we said?
Pine Grove, Holiday Woodlands, Water Tower, Killingsworth.
Thank you.
alright, so, yep, everyone meet at Pine Grove at 5 PM on June 10th. And then 10B, the Parks Commission's regular meeting is at June 15th, 2026 at 6 PM. If there is no more to discuss, move to adjourn the meeting at 6:36 PM.